I was self-harming since I was 11, and then I went from that to disordered eating, from that into college to using cocaine and other drugs, which then eventually led to meth and ketamine.
I was 35 the first time I started meth. I lost everything when I was 35, including my kids. My sons went into foster care, and then my daughter went with her dad.
One time I was playing volleyball, I fell and I hurt my hip, and so I took some of that medication, and that's when it started. That's when it sparked.
And for 3 years I was completely clean. My dad passed away February 12th of 2016. And that night I used again.
My family didn't really want to have much anything to do with me. I wasn't allowed to stay at their house anymore before I came to the Refuge. I was failing all my classes at school. I literally couldn't go a single day without crying or trying to get my fix, and so I had to drop out because I was losing my scholarships, and so I dropped out. And then it was to where I was just using so excessively that I wasn't even like coherent.
I went to jail for the first time. That was just horrible. It was the worst experience ever, leaving my kid. That heartbreaking, like knowing I wasn't even there really, like I said, physically I was there, but I wasn't there for him in any other kind of way. But just to know that I wasn't gonna see him, and like what he is possibly thinking, and mommy's not gonna be there, like it was just that's what really hit me.
There's an old railroad bridge there. And the day after the Dayton tornadoes, the water was like up to the bottom of the bridge. And I was done. I didn't want to do it anymore. And my son was off at the library doing his stuff, and I was standing on that bridge, and I just begged the Lord, help me. Help me fix the mess I had made in my life. And something drew my attention. And 2 days later, I was in the Refuge.
The Sunday before I came in, nodding out, not even being able to even in church. I was in church and I was high.
The first week was really hard because I was super emotional. I remember standing at the bottom of the stairs and looking Christy dead in the eye and telling her, I'm not upset. I don't know what's going on, as tears are just running down my face. I'm like, I'm fine. She's like, okay.
I'd been living on the street, so I had the, all right, what do you want mentality. You know, don't mess with me because I'll mess with you back, is basically how I thought. And they were all so welcoming. Everybody wanted to hug you. And it's like, ooh, okay.
That first day, yeah, it was a fog. I remember kind of having defenses up and just like, these people are too nice.
I didn't want to be the mean, bitter, selfish, arrogant person that I had turned into. I wanted to be free.
So I really just had to be like, okay, this God thing isn't just facts that I have to remember. Like, I actually have to spend time with him, and he wants to spend time with me, and he wants to help me through this. So I had to give it to him because he's the only one who could do anything for me anyway.
The verse that's got me through the Refuge, Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It got me through everything. I repeat that in my head over and over and over again.
I got to celebrate my daughter's first birthday. She was 10 months when I came in. It was like a couple days before her first birthday. I got to celebrate at my very first family day. And my son was very standoffish, and he said, I just don't trust you yet, Mom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, to hear my kid say that. And to now, him telling me that he's proud of me.
I've learned to pay attention to people more. You know, whereas before I would always just, oh, I don't want to deal with you. I don't like people, so I'm gonna shut you out. And now I actually want to be around people. Now here I am, I'm coordinating, getting to pour into the ladies behind me.
So a coordinator is basically a leader that lives in the house with the women and helps with conflict resolution, with behavioral correction, with encouragement, leading Bible studies, and this has become my heart. This has become my passion, these ladies, and being a part of discipling them and bringing them along and encouraging them and sharing the love of Christ is just the best.
I come home every 2 weeks, talking to him on the phone, building that relationship, and like, I don't have to prove anything to him. Like, he just sees the change. I'm not the angry mom that I was before, constantly yelling to get somebody to listen to me or to do something. I sit and talk to him. I give him that quality time that I never gave him before.
I'm also starting back at college to finish my degree in illustration, which is now actually sequential art.
It took me 10 months in the Refuge to realize that it was the Lord who pulled me off that bridge, who saved me from myself. Because if I had stepped off the bridge, that would have been it. Had I chose to not listen, I would have walked off, and I wouldn't get the chance to meet my granddaughter. I wouldn't have the relationship with my family that I have. I wouldn't have the relationship with my boys. I would have missed out on all that. And every day I thank the Lord for giving that back to me.
It's absolutely life-changing, and I don't use those words lightly, because a 1 month program, even a 3 to 5 month program, isn't going to change you. You might be able to at least not be free. You might be able to white knuckle it through a couple years, but it's the actual freedom, which I never believed in when I first started. I didn't think it was possible to be free from drugs and addiction, but there is true freedom there, and community, and people who actually care about you, that there is hope and expectation of the future.